I'm Christian Abbott.
I'm Nathan Lavender.
I'm Sean Abbott.
And this is the Red Mist Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Red Mist Podcast, Season 2, Episode 39. The Ryan Newman Sun Outdoors Camping World SRX car from Thursday Night Thunder.
Yes.
And we got to see that car this summer.
Yes, we did.
That's very exciting.
Yep. Stafford.
That's right. All right, on tonight's episode, we'll talk NASCAR, the Roval, an elimination race.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Also a demolition derby. Also, we'll discuss Formula One in the desert, Qatar. A fiery race.
The heat wave.
A hot race.
Yeah.
Wicked hot. Wicked.
Speaking of hot,
Yeah, wicked hot.
we'll talk Bathurst, the 1000. The great race on the mountain. And then we'll look ahead to IMSA and Petit Le Mans, the finale for 2023. We'll have some news and notes.
Nate, we could recap our Petit Le Mans.
Oh,
Sure can. Yes.
all right. There we go. All right. So, where shall we start? Shall we start with the Roval?
Start with NASCAR as
Let's.
usual. Get the pain out of the way.
Yep. I thought this was a fantastic race.
See, Sean, NASCAR can be good.
Right. Yes.
Did they have stage race?
Yes, they did.
Did they
Yes, they
stop? for
did.
the stage?
Yes, they did.
Oh, they stopped.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that.
I will say
It's
this.
a step backwards.
I'm going to say this. If we're going to continue with the Roval, the chicane before the start-finish line has got to go.
They can't get rid of that.
Yes, they can.
What do you mean?
Why not?
The braking into turn one
think it's a-
is going to be very hard for the cars
Yeah.
to handle
No,
throughout their whole race.
I
So
don't.
what?
I don't think it's that. I think it's
What?
the amount of wall that's needed for a safety precaution.
What do you mean? They can just go right through and they'll just continue on to the banking down in turn one. They might hit
It's-
somebody, but it'd be all
It's
right.
not like Daytona.
Oh, that's too bad.
Listen to
Anyways,
yourself.
I hate that. Anyways, let's move on. Wait a minute. What am I talking about? They used to race IMSA GTP cars there. They come screaming through the oval at about 200 miles an hour.
Correct. They
Yeah,
used
but Sean,
to.
They used to. It's
Not
safety
with-
improvement,
Not
Sean.
with today's safety standards, probably.
Ugh. All right. Then the Roval goes.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right. So, who had the dinger last week?
Us, Sean.
Did we have him?
Yeah, we did.
All right. That's awesome. If Colleague Racing gets rid of the dinger, they're on my
I riot.
they're on my hit list.
Yeah,
Okay.
I riot.
Yeah, I'm gonna riot too. Okay. All right. And I have no idea why that even comes up.
Right, like
yeah.
how can you question it now?
And how many road courses do they have on there? They had 7 this year, but there's like 5 or 6.
I was gonna say. I think there's only
So
4 next year.
he got him a win on one. Okay. I don't know what the hell they did the rest of the season.
Right, and think about
And
this.
he's
Sean.
capable of winning on an oval, and at Indy
He very
can
much
win.
is. He can win
win
Indy.
Indy.
Yeah,
Okay.
he could win
So
Indy.
I don't know what those
Well,
Jags are
it's not.
thinking. Anyways, moving on.
Look,
Moving on.
They're still thinking about it. They're still thinking about it.
right.
And look at and think about this, Sean. Next season, there's 2 road courses in the playoffs.
I know.
It's more in the cards of AJ Allmendinger
But it doesn't.
for next year.
It's not even that. It's like whether you win or lose, if you're in the playoffs or not, he's got the potential to run up front at 5 or 6 different racetracks and potentially win at Indy when they go to the Oval next year.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so need we say more? And that's enough of my rant on that. Anyways, what do you think of the race, Nate?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It was years past at this track. It's usually a little more chaotic, but I really liked the racing that was happening.
There was a little
good racing,
and there was a lot of. You had to play the strategy game a little bit too, which was pretty good.
I kind of have to disagree with that. I hated that there was the stages because I mean, what you're going to do all the road courses
right.
without stages except this one,
right? But
which
I didn't
understand that.
But you had to strategize as to when you were going to come in if there was a yellow flag.
So you're admitting to liking stages? Then.
No, I'm just saying. No, not the stage yellow flag. The yellow flag that may have come out right before the stage, which happened twice.
Yeah, I mean the first stage of Christopher Bell did come in.
Right.
I'm
just throwing it out
when it was before two to go, because with two to go, that's when the pits close.
Right, and then Kyle Busch at the end of the race, they threw caution to the wind and said they came in pitted, and if they was a yellow, they would have been up front. But I mean, it's like on crap tires, but they would have been up front.
Right.
So
I mean they had to play a different strategy, which is it does create that.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that when the yellow gets thrown for the stage. But anyways,
right.
It had the usual chaos in the race, which was good.
Which was expected.
Yep.
At the same time,
yep.
But
Michael McDowell imitated Ricky Stenhouse. Well, not by hitting people, he did hit people.
That's what I mean. He did hit a few people,
but they weren't. I don't think he hit the Europeans. He just hit other North American drivers. American drivers.
Well, no Europeans in this race, so he was safe on that.
And he did have the line of the race. They asked him, "How's the car?" I got water pressure, got oil pressure. Just need to tape the hood down. We're good to go. That was after the car got wrecked for like the third time. So I thought that was pretty good.
Speaking of Stenhouse, did you see his fireball?
Yes.
That was pretty intense. I mean, he got out just in time. I mean, there was fire in the cockpit, and that was actually getting pretty dangerous.
And helmet of the race goes to Daniel Suarez.
Oh yeah, with the Austin Cindric and
no, the helmet.
No,
the helmet.
Oh, I thought you meant like bonehead moment.
He had the
okay.
Day of the Dead helmet from Mexico. It was awesome.
Well, and the paint scheme he had too was pretty colorful too, which was kind of cool.
I was talking his helmet. I wasn't worrying about the car.
It's kind of a lockstep dance with it, but okay.
But then he got taken out.
No, he did the taking out.
No, he got taken out. He got spun into the wall when they're going up.
In the last chicane. Right. Yes. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
The last chicane. No. Coming out of the infield onto the oval. He got taken out. Did you watch the race?
Yeah, I did. I'm thinking of I'm thinking Eric Jones spun there in the 43.
There you go. Yes. Yes.
I'm getting my cars mixed up.
Yes.
As he's watching the replay right now.
No, hang on. No, fellas. You're talking to your NASCAR encyclopedia between us three. But,
who's fact checking who?
Who's fact checking? Yeah, really.
Hey, listen, I'll say it and then we'll fact check it.
Yeah,
and then
I did. The other funny moment was when Hamlin spun out and Rockenfeller hit him and took him out of the race. That was awesome.
Oh, he was good on points. He was going to advance all day. But you know who had Sean? I didn't pick him, and I knew he was going to have a horrible afternoon and more than likely get eliminated too. Bad Brad. What was he doing?
He
had more spins than anybody.
He was doing exactly what Bad Brad does.
At road courses.
Pretty much his entire career.
No.
Overdriving.
Okay. No. He's not a champion by fluke. All right.
Anyway. So, race came down to a good 10-lap shootout with the Dinger and William Byron. Simply,
Yeah.
simply the Dinger's road course experience kind of showed. So when he got into the tight twisty stuff, he wasn't lurching onto the brakes, whereas Byron was like, oh, hunking the car down,
Like overdriving it.
Yeah, overdriving
Yeah, he was trying to catch up to him.
right. And then the Dinger would just kind of cruise it through there, let him catch up, and then he'd pull away the rest of the way. And it would add up lap after lap after lap. He pulled out and got like 7 car lengths.
Well, however, before that even happened, I mean, Allmendinger had to withstand pressure from Ty Gibbs and then also Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is one that had to basically win.
Do you really consider it pressure from Ty Gibbs?
I mean, it's minimal pressure. I kind of went fast over it, but I don't like him, Sean. Believe me. I know. Just tell you what I see.
Kyle Busch, definitely.
Kyle Busch had to win to get in. So if anything, it was going to be more so, okay, of the drivers that is probably going to put more pressure on AJ Allmendinger. I would have expected Kyle Busch because he probably would have either gone by side or make some contact to get by him. And so, I mean, it showed that AJ Allmendinger was the guy to beat at the end of it. End of the day, and he made it happen. He made it happen.
And another guy who made it happen. He wanted that win. Another guy who made it happen was Kyle Larson, and he advances, unlike Bad Brad. And somebody else advanced with. Now, you would have thought that Bad Brad would have advanced, given like where he's been finishing the last few races. No, just the last few races and accumulating points and stuff. You would have thought Bad Brad to be in it, right? And somebody who, I'll be honest with you, has kind of been a little bit in the slump here since winning the season points title, and has finished consistently behind Bad Brad.
Oh, Truex.
Truex goes through, and Bad Brad doesn't. So
he's going to have to win Vegas, Homestead, or Martinsville to get in.
Well, that could happen. So,
and I think more so likely at Martinsville, if anything.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's kind of our race recap there. Let's get to the points. We now re-level. Is this it? No more elimination races, or?
After Martinsville, there's the final 4.
So the next 3, and then we go to the final 4. And how many races they get? 3 races. One race. At Phoenix. Mm-hmm. At Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Why at Phoenix?
Can't they just go back to home? Can they go back to Homestead?
Yeah.
Because Mr. Worldwide would be there.
We're on the same boat on that.
I know, but Mr. Worldwide would be there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, pre-race concert, the command.
Yeah.
Give him the green flag. He can wave the green flag.
Right. So here we go. We're in the. This is the semifinals, right? We got Byron.
If you want to
look at this. Look at this, Byron, and here he is, Truex, number 2. Then Denny Boo Hamlin, Kyle Young Money Larson. We'll get to that in a second.
Mm-hmm. You should have nicknames for everybody.
Here we go. Here's 3 guys that actually these are 4 guys that these are 4 guys that I really like: Buescher, Bell, Reddick, and Blaney.
They could surprise.
Yes, they could.
Could surprise.
Yeah, that's getting in. Outside of Denny Boo Hamlin. I mean, right there, I don't have whoever wins is all good with me. I just don't want Denny to win. That's all. He's like this year's Logano for me.
Yeah. But I'll tell you,
and then
he's
guys that got knocked. To be expected was Bad Brad. Unfortunately, Chastain and Darrell Wallace got knocked out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I was thinking with the surprise pole position and run at Texas that Bubba Wallace had, I thought he might have would.
Yeah, but he
could have done something at Talladega.
He faded at Talladega. That was the problem.
That was the problem, and I'll tell you, and that was his biggest opportunity, I think.
Yes, 100%. If he
himself advancing into the next round.
If he was, say, top 8, top 10 there, he would have probably advanced.
Yeah.
All right. So now,
so
off we go to Vegas for the Brendan Gaughan 400. I mean, I'm sorry, the South Point 400.
That's good.
Since Brendan Gaughan's family owns the South Point Resorts. Anyways, did you know that, Nate?
I do. I
Okay,
do. Yeah.
there you go.
I mean, throughout his career, that's what his car was sponsored with. So
Very good.
kind of connect the dots
All
and
right.
you find out this and that.
There we go. This and that. All right. So here we go. All right. Off to Vegas. Will they be at the Sphere in Vegas?
I'm
Will
sure
they get
they'll
to
do something.
they'll
with the
see
Sphere.
you
Probably
too.
something there.
See you
Sphere.
too. Because I think the Sphere will be showing up on the Formula One.
Yeah, they go around it. They go right around it.
Right around it. So maybe you two will be playing as the race is going on. That'd be cool. That'd be fun. I like YouTube. But anyways, I digress. All right. That closes our NASCAR discussion. That was quick.
Sean, who do you think the final four is going to be?
It's too early to tell, Nate, right now.
Too early? Too early
to tell.
All right.
All right.
Who's going to win at Vegas? Sean, come on, roll the dice. Come on. Who's going to win at Vegas?
Vegas. I'm going to say Byron. Or Byron or Larson.
Come on.
Byron or Larson.
All right. Larson. I like the Larson thing.
All right. I'm just going to go Byron or Larson. I think a Hendrick car will win.
Is Truex from Vegas?
No, he's from Jersey.
He's from,
No. Oh.
who's from Vegas?
Kurt Busch. Kyle Busch.
The Busch
the
brothers.
Bushes.
The Busch
Kurt
brothers,
Busch, Kyle
yeah.
Busch.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, Busch brothers.
Kyle's going to win.
Kyle's going to win?
Kyle will win.
All right. That'll be cool.
That'd be such a shame. He just got eliminated and then he wins.
Although
Yeah.
Noah Gragson puts himself in as from being from Vegas. So, yeah, but he's not running, so. All right.
Hey, speaking of which, I'm going to break this. This is breaking news. Sean.
No. That goes in the news and notes.
Oh, that was a good segue, but okay. Fine.
No, it goes in the news and notes.
All right, fine.
When did we become
Just so
an
excited for
organized
this announcement.
podcast?
Huh?
I said, when do we become organized?
We need some decorum here. We need to follow the rules, or we'll have chaos.
Order.
Jerry. Order in the court.
Are we too good for that now?
Yep. All right. So let's move to the desert. And the Qatar Airways Qatar Grand Prix of 2023.
I mean, the island.
Right? Yeah.
Or the
It's a
furnace,
peninsula, right?
the blast furnace. This was a sprint weekend.
Whoa.
Woo!
Whoa.
And we have a sprint weekend coming up in Austin too.
Back to back sprints. Oh
Look
my
out!
Gosh.
Look out!
Jeez. What a waste of time.
Yeah, and what an anticlimactic wave to clinch a world title.
Sean, it's blue balls. That's what that is. It's just why
Right.
do you have to sprint?
So
Why?
let's just talk about a couple things. After FP1, which Max led FP1, I believe.
It did not matter who led FP1.
Right, I get it.
There was so much dust on that track.
But
It
there was no
ridiculous.
FP2. We had qualifying after that.
Yeah.
But what came alight after FP1 was besides the dumbass track limits. Mm-hmm. Do you have to bleep me for that?
No.
Okay. The track limits, can we just rebuild tracks so that they are natural flowing and aren't these tilted dromes? It's
Just
tilka dromes.
just stop with the runoff. Just put grass, gravel, dirt, whatever. Just
A
put
fence.
a natural barrier.
Do what they did in the 70s. The catch fences with the wooden poles. Granted, they knocked the driver out, but they got halos now.
Or not
Nate,
that I,
go back
not that
and
I
look.
want,
Check
not
it
that I
out.
want to see street races, but there are walls at
Guardrail.
a street course.
Guardrail.
So
Guardrail
at the
doesn't
end
work,
of
Sean.
at the end of every
Works at Watkins Glen.
conversation you
It
just put a wall.
Doesn't
that
work at
defines the track.
Bahrain.
Well, he just kind of found the right spot.
That's a low blow.
That is a low blow. Considering the Phoenix was at the race.
Oh, was he there?
Yeah, Grosjean was there. He was there for French TV. And then he was off to test the Lamborghini.
Oh, I was going to say,
We-
speaking of which,
we-
when is he getting that free test at Mercedes?
Never.
Never.
He was offered it, and now it's just
I don't know.
just kidding.
I don't know. We'll get to that. There's rumors where he might end up this year too, in IndyCar.
Oh.
Anyways, all right. yeah, so we had the tire issue. That was fantastic.
There was a tire issue because then they also...
And it was tire issues in qualifying, and then they mandated it just started getting stupid.
Because then they didn't update the curbing.
The curbing went from being what did they? It wasn't that sausage. Whatever.
It was flat to something raised.
It's now called pyramid. So the backside's pyramid. It's diamond, and the reason for that is because of the bikes.
Yeah.
All right. So this curbing's good for the bikes, but bad for cars. Should have thought of that one through.
No.
Jesus. Anyways, although they expanded the paddock, it looked very nice. Not that. Don't you? Don't care? Driver comfort?
The attendance there is 120,000 people. I think all of the grandstands
too.
I think
they're all people that work there.
I think all of the people were confined to the main straight grandstand. I didn't see a single grandstand anywhere else on the track.
They weren't walking the desert.
Let me check.
That's such a good point.
That's the one thing about these tracks in the desert. Like it's all just it's on the main straight, and I'm like, well,
it's like the main straight to the first corner, and that's it.
I know Abu Dhabi is different.
Bahrain, we saw that this week.
Well,
Bahrain has.
Or last week we saw it.
Bahrain has the main straight and then
corner one,
turn one. But I think that's it.
But then you can see them coming into that.
Yeah, you can see there, but no one else is there.
I know. And it's not like Coda, where the grandstands go all over the place and you can walk all over the place. Sort of.
Just any Silverstone.
Silverstone.
Not Zandvoort.
No, Zandvoort, you walk in the dunes.
You can walk all over.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I like tracks where you can either walk around everywhere.
Suzuka has Suzuka has everything. They got grandstands out in the Spoon.
They got berms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I need a track with more viewing space because it literally looks like their only grandstand. No. They have a grandstand outside of one between 2 and 3.
Okay. So with the sprint race, so we had qualifying. Max took qualifying, and then it was chaos after that because of track limits. We had Lando in second, and then he got bounced.
Yep.
Then Oscar got in. No, Oscar got in, and then he became 2, and then he got bounced. Oh, yeah. Then George was in, he was 3. No, he was out. Then he was, and then he was out, right?
No, he was 3rd and then got promoted to 2nd. Lewis was 4th, got promoted to
right, but
3rd.
Piastri and Norris both got bounced.
Yes, those two.
They were 2nd and 3rd behind Max originally.
Yes, but Norris.
Then they got both bounced.
Yeah,
and then then Lewis. This was awesome. I give him credit. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go do my stuff. He goes, does the radio, the interviews, and gets changed. Yeah. And they're like, oh, can you come to the press conference? He's like sitting there in his clothes. It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was cool. I thought that was just pathetic that it came down to that. The poor announcers didn't even know what was going on.
I was gonna say, like, if you're gonna go into a weekend knowing that this is gonna be an issue, something just needs to change so it doesn't look like you have no idea what's going on. If you want to keep everything the same and keep deleting lap times the way you have been, fine, but delay when you start everything else to make sure you have the people that are going to be up there other than just something confusing and stupid.
We started the weekend with track limits as being the biggest issue. Then after all this, the qualifying, then we had the sprint race, then the whole tire issue thing comes up, which is because some of the tires were pulling off the rim because they were doing extended time on 12 and 13, corner 12 and 13, where they were riding the curbs. So, of course, this comes up. But underlying all this and was getting missed all the time was the heat.
Yeah.
Now, if you watched FP1, they did note that there was just tons of wind. The sand was everywhere. But they didn't really, you figure with the breeze and stuff, okay, it's a hot breeze, but at least the air's moving. But I think people just underestimated that it was that hot. I mean, it just, there were so many other sub-stories that were going on. And then, Sunday morning, it's, mandated tire stops.
Right.
So it's 3-stop race, 18 laps was the maximum you could do. And then on top of that, they changed the track limits on 12 and 13. So they had to create a 10-minute practice session, a sighting session for these guys to go out and get used to the track. I mean,
yeah.
I think the due diligence should have been before the race with the curbs, first off. And then secondly, it's a motorcycle track.
The other thing, too, is
Right.
was there any support race going on this weekend?
I have no idea. I don't even know. Like,
Because
the Middle East Porsche Cup race, I don't know what was going on. But the whole thing was, it's a motorcycle track.
Right.
This is, like, people pick on Imola because it's old. But this was purposely built as a motorcycle track. And they decided to put an F1 race on it with these big cars. So these guys are missing corners because the radius of the corners is built for motorcycles.
I wouldn't say miscurrent.
You would
corners,
the
but
guys in the Indycar would be doing the same thing. They'd be missing it too. There'd be track limits in Indycar.
Yeah, but that's
probably
but that's the
as
thing.
well.
It's like everyone's. I wouldn't say you're missing curves. It's just like it's.
I'm not saying missing curbs, but missing the track limits, like running over the track limits.
Yeah, but yeah, but IndyCar and Kodo just goes wide at the last two.
No, but that's their decision.
Yeah.
That's their decision to let that happen.
So-
but if you let the IndyCars do that this weekend, they would have been ripping the tires apart because of the curbs.
Correct, but that's and IndyCars were having a similar issue at Kodo when they were doing it because they were ripping up the AstroTurf.
But
on the
here's
on
the thing: the track's built for the radius of a motorcycle. That's how they built this place. Okay.
I think track is still a track. You push the limits no matter what.
No, there's a reason Formula One doesn't run at Aston because Aston is a motorcycle track. It's where they have the Dutch TT. Okay, so you have to concede that some tracks are motorcycle tracks versus this wasn't built to host the Grand Prix.
Some tracks aren't meant to host F1 to begin
right.
with.
So and this is one of those tracks.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't be going here. And the only reason I'm going here is because of the cash. But I mean, so I just, I find that to be kind of.
Well, the other thing.
And we're going to still come back next year.
Yeah, for like the next 10 years?
Yeah, and nothing's going to change. Like they're going to have to rebuild the whole friggin' track.
I'm not Go ahead, Nate.
Go ahead, Nate.
No, well, it's tough because this puts the FIA in a tough spot because they said never again we'll have a race with these kind of track conditions. Or I'm sorry, I guess you could call it weather conditions with the heat.
Well, no, they also said the track limits
kind of jumping
and the track limits as well.
Right. I mean, you're right, Sean. It's not meant for F1 cars, and they're going to tear the crap out of these cars. Right. And even in the sprint, there was big talk because there was this huge problem with the soft tires. I guess the soft tires, just the degradation was terrible. It just fell off the cliff.
It was like literally 4 laps, I think. Yeah. So I mean,
right.
So
and the
now
was 19 laps.
So right. So now they mandate this, stuff, and so now they're gonna have to go rebuild the place. Is essentially what they're gonna have to do.
I'm not a fan of this track to begin with.
I'm not either. No.
Solely on the fact that it looks exactly like Bahrain.
But
it's smaller.
Right, but Bahrain has 2 options.
I don't care. I think the tracks look the same.
Agree.
So it's like going to
the landscapes also look the same.
Right. It's like how Paul Ricard looks ridiculous.
It's dumb. Yeah, and that's all because it's Paul Ricard's a giant test track that's used for Formula One.
I know, but same with just like all the runoff and everything, or all the tracks that have been built recently with all the runoff. Yeah. I'm like, honestly, I hate to say it, there's no consequences for the drivers, so they abuse it.
to the point. So they want to know why the track limits get abused, because you built 8,000 acres of runoff,
Right.
so guys can't get hurt. If you there's a reason people don't take stupid risks at Monte Carlo. And you can say the track, the cars are too big for Monte Carlo, yes. But what happens at Monte Carlo? They use their head, right? I mean, granted, we had Mick, and there's been some shunts. Leclerc hit one, but that happens on street tracks,
right? You're gonna have the occasional one once in a while,
right? But you're 100% right. There's just no consequences, so these guys will abuse it until they get told not to.
Like the good tracks, on the calendar:
Suzuka,
Monza, Montreal. Spa is still good, but it's been getting more and more.
Imola,
Zandvoort. I like it.
Yep. There's consequences there. When you run off there, you're either in the dune or going to go sailing onto the beach if you clear the dune.
Interlagos.
Yeah, Interlagos. No, Interlagos. Absolutely, 100% agree with you. Actually, I'll even go. I'm not a super fan of Mexico, but the only place there's any potential runoff there is in the stadium section.
No, the S sections you can bail out anytime.
Right. Well, yeah, but that's not all the track, you know? So, no, 100% agree with you. Montreal is definitely Montreal. Yes, Montreal's good. There's consequences.
Montreal is to me is acceptable. Like if you're gonna put walls on the course, but not put them on top of the track, they're the right distance away.
Now bring Formula One to Road America.
Yeah.
No, you know what I'm saying.
That would be good.
Right.
These cars would launch off the turn one exit curbing though.
It's fine, but there's consequences there. There's that. Who went for the flight this year? Was it Malukas?
There were a couple.
He went over the curb there. The thing literally flew 10 feet.
Yeah, because I think McLaughlin did it during the test day too.
I think Newgarden might have done it too. But there's consequences.
Road Atlanta.
No, you can't. You can't even run an IndyCar. You can't even run an IndyCar there. I don't even know how to get ready to run the GTP cars there because
I know. That'll be awesome this weekend though.
Yeah. Anyways, so we go to the race, and I'm like, all that's gonna happen is, I said, once Max gets to turn one and he's ahead, it's over. Unless something breaks on the car.
Yeah.
And, lights out and away we go. And he gets the jump, pulls ahead, and then Team Mercedes. I'm gonna, you know what? I know people are saying, Lewis took the blame for this. You guys, I'll open it for discussion here. But I have to almost side with Ted Kravitz on this.
Oh, what did he say?
This is what Ted said, and I kind of agree with him because Lewis started the race on the softs.
Okay.
And the reason being was he was going to try and get to the lead. That's what he was going to try and do. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then he was going to pit early. They were just, whatever. They were going to try and do it on a 4-stop rate. That was the strategy. And they had talked about it.
They could, because I was thinking about this with the minimum or with the maximum amount of laps they can go. They could go up to lap 54. So as long as they basically had a 3-4 lap window that they had to cover.
Yeah.
So as long as they were
going to go aggressive with Lewis, and this is what they had talked about.
Yeah.
In their team room.
Yeah.
And Toto from the lair in the Alps was on that conversation. And it's like George didn't see him. Like he was bang right there on his outside. And Lewis kept going further and further out because he said he's got to see me. And it's like, and it was just like, hey, dummy, just bail and let him go because he's going to pit in 3 laps. And you're going to just, they're trying to chase, they were trying to chase Max down, but they were trying to pin the other guys back because they were trying to get and he fights him. And then doesn't, and then Lewis comes over and the rest is history. And then Lewis, give him credit, stand-up guy, took the blame for it. But I'm kind of like, did he listen? What was going on in the team room? Or is he just, it's just, he's a prima donna and, that's what he does. I'll be honest with you. I don't see him being much. If he does this same crap next year, I don't see him hanging around after next year because his contract's up next year. Oh, no, he's got 2 years, right?
No, they're both until 25.
25?
Well, sorry, end of 25.
End of 25? Well, they're going to be looking for 2 drivers because if he keeps doing this, he's going to be gone.
Who are you going to throw in?
I don't know, Christian. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe Mick and Nick DeVries will come back. I don't know. They're both managed by Toto, so
yeah,
or one of them is. Nate, what was your take on that?
Oh.
Did we lose
Nick
Nate?
DeVries will get back.
What's your take on the accident?
Well, I mean, the reaction time and where George was, look, here's my thing. I understand the team play. I do. But at the same hand, if you do have position on Max and maybe carry it through the corner and with the same tire, great. But I think the very important part that you mentioned is Lewis is on soft tires. And that's going to ultimately grab him the lead early, but then he's going to pit early. So it's like, why do you have that fight happen anyway? The problem is, Lewis, look, in terms of accident, Lewis turned down on George. He did.
Yep.
Okay. So, fine. But you got to go back at what's the strategy. And
yeah,
Lewis is on the faster tire, and he's going to be the one that's, I would think, the first one between the two of them to attack Max or whoever for the lead. So I agree with you. I think George, if anything, should have bailed, but like get off the throttle, 100% to 90%, right? Kind of like let him slot in, and then you have at it.
Yeah, and then he was like, this was the best part watching the race. Then he's banging on about it, and finally, out of nowhere, there's this voice, and it's Toto from the lair. He's like, they got him all hitched up, and he's like, George, just get on and drive the car.
I don't know why some of these guys feel like they just have to keep
banging on about something.
Yeah,
they're dwelling on it, and you got to focus forward on the race.
100%. I think that's what Toto was telling him. But it was kind of funny out of nowhere. Toto's voice just comes cascading.
It appears.
Yeah. But and here we go. But here comes.
I will say that's not the first time he's had to do that with George.
No, I know. But here's the thing. Now they got. I mean, granted, there's a gap with them, but right now McLaren's the hot team.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They are.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And saying what I'm going to do is I'm going to say team. Because in Max's space, it's just one car. Yeah. And we'll get to that.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I just unreal.
Perez crashed in the sprint too, right?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Nico
Hulkenberg.
It's not going well. It's not going well.
No.
Daddy Perez is not going to be thrilled when young Checo's home next year. So, yeah. So I mean, it's crazy. I mean, but here's McLaren coming through.
Yeah, with both cars.
And unfortunately, Ferrari turned into Ferrari this weekend. Carlos couldn't start because they had a fuel line problem.
Yeah.
All right.
I was gonna say, wasn't there one car that started, Sean?
There was one.
Apparently when they hooked up the fuel system, or when they went to dump the fuel in, it just leaked
everywhere
from everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah. It's unreal. Anyways, and then Checo being Checo again, causes the team to work overnight, and they have to start early because of the damage.
They have to start from the pit lane.
Because they had to start early. They couldn't, you couldn't go, when the sprint race finished, you go to park from A, and then technically you're supposed to, at that point, if your car's damaged, that's when you start working on it. Mm-hmm. They just started working on it because they knew how long it was going to take to fix.
Yeah.
So they had to take the penalty in the pit lane. Mm-hmm. So, it's not going well for Checo.
No.
I mean, it could be worse. He could be a mechanic at Williams for Logan Sargent.
Well, did he do anything wrong this weekend?
He got sick and just.
But he didn't wreck the car.
He didn't wreck the car, and I'm gonna. You know what? I love all the keyboard heroes. Going.
Keyboard warriors.
Where Nate falls into this. I could have finished this race. When I saw the end of the race and Max was kind of like laying down in the after talking to Coulthard, it's kind of entertaining. I mean,
this weekend he gets a pass.
Everybody gets a pass.
Everyone was doing it. Like it was pretty apparent.
I mean,
that it wasn't just
Ocon literally threw up in his helmet.
Yeah.
Well, and there was a lot of cars, but I mean, you saw in the at the end of the race there was a lot of drivers that they were about to pass out.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex Albon, right? Some of the Alfa Romeo guys came over to help him get out of the car.
Yeah, I mean, Joe and Bottas. Now, I'll give Bottas credit. I mean, he's in phenomenal. I mean, these guys are all in phenomenal shape, but Bottas is pretty wired. Joe started dead last and finished in the points, so props to him. Yeah. I felt bad. Like Liam Lawson said, that was probably one of the hardest races he ever did. Uh-huh. I mean, and you're talking about a 21-year-old kid, okay? 21 years old. Max is 26, and Max is pretty fit, okay? But he looked wiped.
Yeah,
everyone was. Piastri and Norris.
Piastri was lying down in the cool down room.
Yeah, they were all lying down. I mean, and then poor Yuki, he tries to. The poor kid, he does what anyone. Well, you know what? I'll open it up. He opens up the mask. Opens up the visor. Do the JT go quarter crack, and he got blasted with sand. Imagine a Formula One car doing that.
Actually, there was one point in the race I did laugh with George going down the straight, and he was just resting his hands up on the dash to try and push air in there. I was like, and everyone's so it's like, wow, he's going 300 kph down the straight and just relaxing in the car. I'm like, yeah. I'm not saying that these cars aren't hard to drive, but
I know. At the end of the race, I know Max kind of was joking, but he goes, "Does anyone got a wheelchair?"
I know.
Although I will say this, FP1, Carlos had the best line of the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I think my dad would be fast in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, these keyboard, I don't know, whatever. That did not look fun, And somebody's like, "Oh, it was that night." I go, "Yeah, there's a reason that it's that night. If that was during the day,
yeah,
they'd be roasted."
Yeah, I mean, just look at some of the, you go some of the NASCAR races, back in the day, guys get out of those cars. Yeah. I don't even know how. I mean, what was it at? Where was it this year? Where did Dale Jr. run? Bristol?
Yes. Yeah, he ran.
And his foot caught fire.
Yeah.
Because it was up against it was up against the tunnel, the way he drives, and he had to stop because his foot caught fire. Yeah. These guys are anyone complaining and saying they're dropping out. I mean, if Sargent's telling them I can push, I'm like, dude, what are you gonna do? You gonna faint and put the car into the wall?
Right.
Right.
I mean, at least it was sensible, But anyways, I'm just giving McLaren props. Oh, yeah. They've come leaps and bounds.
They've really figured out the car.
It's amazing.
This season,
they can figure out a Formula One car, but their IndyCar program is horrendous.
Boom.
Well, and think about this, Sean. Right?
Mic drop.
You know, Lando surpassed his the most podiums he's gotten in a year, which was 4 podiums in 2021, and now he has 5.
Yeah, and props to Piastri for winning the sprint race. I mean, it doesn't.
Another McLaren driver to beat Lando in winning a race.
I said sprint race. I didn't say it's not a Grand Prix. I know.
I know. It doesn't count, but
doesn't
still,
count. Yeah, like imagine the poor kid's career. That was the high point. He's just like Mr. He's Mr. Mark Webber the rest of the way of his career. That sucks.
Yeah.
Or Danny Rick. Danny Rick. Yeah, get a couple wins, but anyways, I'm just saying it's just
Monaco.
Yeah, but Monza too. So I mean, yeah, that's just tough. But anyways, take a quick peek at the points. It's all done and dusted.
I was gonna say everything is clinched for Red Bull.
Okay, now let's just take a quick.
But the focus is I think second place in the driver's standings.
All right, so let's discuss this. Checo sitting at 224. Lewis is at 196, followed closely by. I'm sorry, 194. So it's a 20-point gap there. Followed by Fred's 19 behind Lewis. So
no. He has 183.
Right.
That's 11.
Oh, 11. I'm sorry. Sorry.
You're good.
Sorry.
Get it right. Do your math.
And we have Carlos.
Well, that's going to be a great battle for second, I think, coming to the next few races.
Georgie Porgy took a hit this weekend.
I mean, he did, and he took a bigger hit in Singapore.
Now, Lando's kind of jumped into the picture. I don't think Oscar's going to get Russell. So the question is, Lando, can he get Leclerc?
5th? I think he could get 5th. I think he could get maybe up to Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's reachable.
I think a telltale race is coming up at Coda. See if the McLarens... Because the next 2 races, I think Austin and Mexico are somewhat similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after Mexico, do we come back? No, we go to Brazil. I think
Vegas.
Brazil. I think I don't know. I want to say I think the Mercedes will be quick there.
Based on last year, Mercedes is quick at Brazil.
Yeah, I would say that.
That's what I'm holding out.
Yeah.
But I think between Austin and Mexico,
I think
that could be Ferrari's track. Again, based on last year.
Right. And I think Vegas is going to be similar to Baku.
Yeah, I can see that.
So Perez wins at Vegas?
No.
No.
Oh, no. No.
You said similar to Baku.
Mr. Baku, yeah.
You said
Baku. I don't know. Anyways, so we'll get to that. So next week we'll pick our picks to click at Vegas. All right, let's turn our attention to the great race on the mountain, down under, and talk about going out in style. SVG.
Yes.
I felt bad for Brock Feeney, though.
Yes. No, we'll get... yep. And I just want to put a shout out to Richie Stanaway because he has been up and down his entire career. He's bounced between WAC. He's come to Supercars. He's gone to Supercars. I mean, he really wants to be in Supercars. He went away from it, and it was awesome. He got the team with Shane. It's first time in a while that we've had an all New Zealand podium up front on the top step. So congrats to those boys. Fantastic for Shane. He'll be coming over to the track house. Maybe Justin. Like they were talking and asking him what he's doing next year, and I kind of clicked in my little head about this. So Shane was saying, well, I'm going to be doing, or I should say SVG. SVG is going to be running a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, why doesn't Justin just put him in his TA1 car?
Oh.
That'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. That'd be wild.
At Lime Rock.
Oh. Wow. New track record with that car and driver combo. Holy smokes!
That'd be kind of cool if he does that. Anyways,
cool.
yeah, he's just freelancing next year. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Maybe they get him in a sprint car.
Yeah.
He's done sprints
I was
down
gonna
under.
say, yeah, he has done sprints.
Could do the American rally scene too. Maybe Travis will put him in a car. Talk to the guys at Vermont Sports Car. Anyways, yeah, I do feel bad for Brock and those and Jamie Winkup because it was definitely going to be a 888 one too, right. And it was just a matter. Right. And they talked to Shane about it, and the way they had figured it out, his feeling was his side of the garage was probably going to win the race. They thought they were going to win the race based on the fuel strategy, but he said the only thing that could really screw them up was some type of caution at the right moment that would have allowed the other 888 car to kind of overcome that fuel gap, and then it would have been game on.
Yeah,
and it sucked. They bounced back from 2 incidents, and then finally it went down. Nate, you're 100% right, and the kid's come a long way. Brock Feeney.
He
struggled his first year.
Which, I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or I mean, who's the other cars I could maybe see going for the victory? It would be like Cam Waters, right? The monster car, and then Brody.
Kostecki, but Kostecki set the he friggin' blew up the track record there, which was amazing. But as soon as so they asked Shane about that, and he said, well, when we saw his lap times. We were like, we're not going to be able to stick, without risking the car. We're not like Brody was doing it, making it look effortlessly.
Yeah.
And he was like, we just couldn't do it. So we went right to race pace.
Yeah.
And I think that's, again, that's a sign of a experienced team on both sides of the garage there. They just went for race pace, and it showed because at the start he jumped them and he was, they weren't gone, checked out, but they were able to keep the pace, whereas you're not going to run qualifying laps for 6 hours.
No, you're not.
You're not. I mean, Antoine De Pasquale and Tony Delberto finished third. Mm-hmm. Great drive there. Chaz Mossert and Lee Holdsworth. I mean, people need to get tuned into this because these guys are good. The only crappy thing with this is this Gen 2 car that they got down there. They call it Gen 2. This new supercar.
It's not Gen 3.
I don't know, whatever they call it. Whatever. I mean, the Chevys, look, it was Chevy top 2, then Ford had the next 4 places, then Chevrolet. So, oh, my mouse died. Sorry. So it was wild. And the kicker to this whole race, and this is I think where I think 888 really was going to win it, especially SVG and Stanaway. The last half of the race, which is almost 3 hours, caution free, on the mountain.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they were on it too. Right? Yeah. So that's a long time.
That's a long time. Long time. I know right now, I know on YouTube you can go out and find the highlights from the race. I urge people to go watch that because honestly, in about 15 minutes, you can see the whole race. It was crazy. I mean, but wow, what a race.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. I wasn't able to watch the whole thing because given the time of day it was, but I was at work for a little bit, but I'll tell you, it was a lot of fun to watch when I was watching it.
Yep. All right. Okay, so let's get to news and notes. As Nate was alluding to, so we had some late breaking news involving Andretti Global. Andretti Global.
No. Spire. It's still
Andretti
Spire.
Global.
Stop.
Andretti Global.
Not yet.
Soon to be.
Soon to be. Possibly.
Will be. I think this is a great move.
This is a great move. I mean, Carson Hocevar will be piloting the number 77 Spire
Andretti Global, sponsored by Gainsbridge.
Yes, okay. Anytime now, right? Anytime now it'll be Andretti Global. But
that's right.
For the time being, I think, to up their value before they sell it, right? But yeah, after they buy all the KBM stuff, now they sign a young driver, right? And they have Gamebridge, right? It's just the price tag is just upticking for them to sell it.
Yep.
So,
How many charters do they have? 2 or 3?
I think they have something's yelling at me to say 2.
Okay. I'm just.
they're
are
in
you sure
every
you don't
league,
have 3? Because then, did they lease one to Rick Ware? I think they might have.
If they have 3 and they're leasing one to Rick Ware,
Yeah.
wow! I mean, their value in their team is through the roof.
Guess who's going to be taking that 3rd charter?
Andretti.
Right.
Say bingo. Yeah,
Right. No.
bingo.
Right. Who? What? Who's going to drive that car?
Marco.
Boom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I listen. Sean, I got 4 eyes. I can connect dots as well. And when Marco gets into a NASCAR and wins the Daytona 500,
that'd be just that would be magical.
Magical.
Imagine if he won the Brickyard 400. Anyways.
Wow.
All right.
That'd be nuts.
So that was one piece of news. The other one we kind of let off the show with it is this whole thing going on at Colleague. I mean, I just don't. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, who are you going to sign? I mean, well, let me start off this. They got rid of Justin Haley and they're putting Daniel Hemrick in. Are you?
I know.
Are you nuts?
I don't understand that. There's certain things I don't understand, and now they're going to get rid of.
There's super speedway ace. I don't get it.
I don't get what's going on over there. So
anyways. The only thing that here's only 2 things that give Daniel Hemrick a backbone for the ride. There's 2. One is he has done a full season in Cup, and it was with RCR when they did the A car, Caterpillar car, and then afterwards it was Tyler Reddick, right? And I think the next one after that was Kyle Busch in the A car now. So I think that's the storyline.
Yeah.
But that's where it happened. That's where that A car got back started. It was Daniel Hemrick doing that 1 year. Okay. And I believe he got pole position at Roval. So it's a little fun stat there. And but then, he has an Xfinity championship, even though it was, the way that they do it. He has an Xfinity Series championship.
Yep. There we go. And then elsewhere in the NASCAR paddock, let's welcome back Matt Kenseth to the paddock.
Yes.
Competition advisor at Legacy Motorsports or Motor Club, whatever they are. Anyways, congrats, Matt.
Legacy Motor Club.
Yeah. Maybe they'll put him in the car. You can take Bad Brad out. That'd be awesome. Or he could get back in, take Logano out. That'd be even better.
Sean.
What?
I like half of that.
Okay. Oh, you don't like the Bad Brad stuff?
Hey, right. Listen, he probably had it coming, but,
All right. In Formula One notes, Pirelli has extended their deal to 2027 only, not 2028.
Boo.
I know, but it only goes to 2027. It was supposed to go to 2028, so...
I want a tire war.
Bring back
I want a tire war, too.
Yeah.
Post the Qatar Grand Prix, and we didn't even touch on this, was the antics of... Lance Stroll.
He's going to lose his ride just by doing that.
One of 2 things there. As Nate correctly said, it was assault.
It was assault.
And 2, it's just typical petulant little rich brat.
He threw the steering wheel before he got off.
He's got no consequences because Daddy owns the team.
Well, not yet. The FIA might step in.
Well, yeah, so that came out afterwards that they are investigating. Whatever. I don't know what's going to happen, but whatever. In some other speculation and news that has arisen, wild rumors floating around about 2 teams. Daddy Stroll, on the heels of the announcement of Aston Martin. Did we talk about that? Going back to the WEC?
We have it.
Oh, we'll get to that.
That's exciting.
Aston Martin's return to WEC.
Yes.
Rumors circulated that Big Daddy was Daddy Warbucks was looking to Daddy Warbucks Stroll is possibly looking to sell the Formula One team. Potential buyers are Aramco, which is the Saudi oil company. So they would become the Live Golf team of Formula One. Would that mean they would only participate in practice and qualifying?
No, they would skip practice and just go straight to the qualifying and the race.
And then the race, but they'd only do...
No, they would skip Friday.
They would
skip Friday, just do Saturday, Sunday.
They would do 3/4 of the race to keep up with the Live Tour. Okay. So that's one speculation point. The other speculation point that arose, and I'm a avid listener to Radio Le Mans, and I didn't hear this. I need to go back and hear this because apparently it came during the Radio Le Mans podcast or show last Wednesday that Audi is looking to get out. Okay, now if we got
what causes that?
The Audi is the Ford of Europe. When they commit to a program, an oversized program, they should be staying in their lane, which is sports car racing. I don't really get where Formula One goes there. I mean, if someone said Porsche is going to come back to Formula One, why is Porsche going to come back as a car manufacturer? Just come back as an engine supplier. That's what they do well. Mm-hmm. That's what they've always done well.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, yes, in sports cars, they build fantastic sports cars. IndyCar built a really good motor. Formula One, they built there was a Porsche motor that was built for Formula One. So there's, just do what you do well. Make an engine.
Okay, but Porsche is not even like in F1.
No, not anymore. No, not anymore.
Not anymore. No. Is it what's Red Bull's engine? It's still the Tag Heuer?
No, it's an RBR power plant that's going to be rebadged as a Ford.
It's still the Honda.
Yeah, it's still a Honda.
It's going to be rebadged.
Honda. Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's going to be rebadged as a Ford.
That's the thing. I want to sit there and be like,
last about 2 weeks.
Or sorry. Red Bull did buy out the Honda powertrain.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Yes. So it's still the same.
Yes.
Same people.
Yeah.
But it's just a badging exercise.
Right. It's a badging exercise.
I thought that wasn't allowed.
Yeah. Well. Don't tell Toto and don't tell Liberty Media that.
I don't care how anyone rebadges anything. I like more involvement. More involvement. Anyways. That's what I like.
So this opens up 2 spots. If this is really true, then if you're Michael,
right?
My first phone call is to my man Ben Sulayem and go, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Have Big Ben touch base with Stefano there, and ask him what's going on in his house because there seems to be stuff that's not going on too well.
Yeah.
So could Michael end up with one of those teams? Absolutely, be a cheaper route.
Yeah, it'd be.
Sauber has a wind tunnel.
It's good in one sense that it's an avenue for Andretti to get into the sport, but I don't like it because this means we're going to be stuck with 20 cars on the grid.
Right. So. Which now gets me back to the guys that finished second, which was Roden down in New Zealand there.
Right.
So if Michael's going to be allowed to buy a team, say these 2 teams go up for sale, okay? Mm-hmm. I mean, clearly Michael's got the money. I don't think Roden might have the money. I don't know. I don't think these other 2 teams do. But, if Aramco's going to buy a team, okay, fine. But aren't they sharing the same workshop that the Aston WEC program is going to be in? Or is that going to be somewhere else?
I don't know.
And we'll get to that in a second. I know we're running over here, but...
I let me tell you this. I don't think Andretti buys the team. I think that ship has sailed. He already brought the idea that could happen.
Here's the thing. If Sauber goes up for sale, everyone's going to push... This includes Formula One. They're gonna say, okay, we're gonna compromise with you guys. Can Andretti close the deal on it? If they can, fine, we'll take them in. The question then becomes, okay, we want an 11th team, then I think the guys from Roden should have the next shot. But the question there is, is Lawrence selling the team? Like what's going on? Okay, that's what I think in-house at F1, they need to kind of figure out what's going on in that. No, it's a good point, Nate.
Because I think of the new teams that could come in. I think Andretti Cadillac, right? Or I guess we could call it Andretti Global, right? I think they'd be the best option to go in as a new team.
Because the Sauber team's going to need a motor.
Well, no. Nate's saying if you have the teams that were denied to be the 11th team, Andretti should be the one that's a startup. Right.
But the next.
Well, right. That's my point.
But the problem there is Sauber needs a motor. They don't have a motor.
Okay, but
they don't have when they're done. When this thing comes done, they don't have a motor. Yeah. So who has a motor? Michael has a motor.
Right.
All right. So that's the whole gig, right there. And
and
Chevrolet already came out. GM already came out today, alluding to the WEC program for next year is going to be one car. They and they kind of alluded. They skip around the issue. It's just like, just say, we're taking resources and we're putting it into the Formula One motor. Once we get that program up, then we'll explore going to a, building another car, or go find somebody to run a privateer Cadillac over there. They haven't done that.
I know.
So obviously, this is my whole thing with Ford and GM when it comes to racing. They never go outside the box. Whereas GM, I will say this, with the Corvette, well, on their sports car side, they went outside the box. On the prototype side, they haven't gone outside the box.
No, they haven't.
So, not yet. But, I 100% agree with what you guys are saying. So it's just a question of, I think Formula One and the FIA got to get together on this and go, what's going on here? Are you in or out? Mm-hmm. Because it sounds like they're wishy-washy. And there's another change coming on the Audi board again. This is these German companies love to do this. And, what we're going to find out, we're out. And then, 3 months later, well, we're back in on WEC. We want to come back in. And why? Because the car is sitting on the shelf. Everyone knows it. Mm-hmm. People have seen the pictures of the chassis, the two chassis sitting there.
Yeah.
In Ingolstadt. So, it's like, come on. It's like, make your mind up.
But think about this, too. My thing with Audi is if you're kind of tossing up the idea between F1 and WEC, right? Wouldn't you want to go to WEC to kind of repeat your legacy at Le Mans?
Their success is solely sports cars and prototypes. That's where they've always had their success. I have no idea why they wanted to go to Formula One. Rallying too, they've had success.
Yeah, Quattro. So.
Right, and now you got a hybrid system that's in WEC, run as a hypercar. Okay, whatever. But I think they miscalculated on who was coming. I think they miscalculated.
Maybe.
I don't think they realized it was Ferrari. I just don't think that they realized how many cars were coming. Now every car that they play with in sports cars is there.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they're having the and then on the flip side, then they cut their whole GT3 program, which is just like, don't get that.
Right. Well, I get it if they're going to commit to
F1.
If they're going to commit, but
now if you're backtracking, it's like stupid. Anyways, so so there we got that. What else? What else do we want to? Wasn't there something else? Sports car wise?
Sports car wise?
Oh, well, Aston.
Oh, yeah, the Valkyrie.
Go ahead, Christian.
Aston Martin is finally going to commit to Hypercar with the Valkyrie.
Right. And it's going to be a WEC IMSA program.
Yes. Yeah.
And was it
both sides?
I think both you and Nate noted when we were talking about this.
Oh yeah, the heart of racing.
Heart of racing.
I jokingly said, MSR, and then you guys pointed out that it said Heart of Racing on there, and they confirmed it's Heart of Racing. So good for them, those guys. That's awesome. Yeah. Well done. That talk about coming up through the ranks, aligning with the manufacturer. Great job. I think that's fantastic. Right. Christian.
Well, think about this. Because look at this. Because you know how BMW got into, and now WRT is doing the testing with them?
Well, yeah. I mean, they leaned on Rahal because they had a relationship there. I think they felt that the running in IMSA would be a better test bed than running in WEC. I think they agree with that. I think that what lessons learned there can translate to WRT, as Nate points out. So I think that's all good.
Yeah, the prototype field is getting better and better and better.
Well, let's just go down the road. Let's just connect the dots here. So MSR gets dropped for Acura.
Yeah, MSR is in Meyer Shank.
Meyer Shank.
Yep.
Says, we're gone, but we'll be back. And then rumors circulate that Audi's out of Formula One.
No.
And let's just take it one step further. Meyer Shank's in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, that's where Audi is, right?
Nope.
That's where Honda. Well,
nope.
There's a Honda base.
Honda is in Marysville.
In Ohio, yeah.
Yeah, but the Acuras are from California.
Yeah.
But somebody that lives on the Ohio-Indiana border that used to be the head of Audi Sport North America and is known as restoring Audi R10s and R18s and such for customer cars, is still floating around. And he's a short distance away from Meyer Shank. Brad Kettler.
Oh.
Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Let's see if smoke catches fire. Let's see what happens. And you guys will be like, season 4, episode 39. Audi announces, and then I'll go back to this one. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out. It's a reach. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Champion's not going to be coming back. Dave Mirage unfortunately passed away, so he won't be coming back. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, that's going to be I know we've made some predictions. I don't know how.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll just file that one back there.
Well, hang on. We've made a lot of predictions that have actually happened.
I'm going out on a limb, though. I'm going to say
that's pretty good.
I'm going to say that Ferrari comes back to IMSA, and it will be with Reese.
God!
I mean,
everyone's just waiting for that to happen. That's the thing.
Who's doing Lamborghini over? Oh, they're. Oh yeah, wait a minute.
Iron
Who's?
Lynx.
Iron Lynx. Iron Dames. Yes. Yeah. Iron Lynx. Iron Dames. Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. Anyways, just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
This little tidbit on my X feed, formerly Twitter, United Autosports posts. Oh, want to welcome Jimmy Johnson to United Autosports. Great visit.
To what? Like sports cars?
JJ's over visiting United Autosports, and he's with Zach. What's Zach? Okay, so let's go down the route here. What's Zach got? McLaren.
He's got a lot.
He's got McLaren. He's got McLaren. And who's going to run the McLaren GT3 program at Le Mans and in WEC?
United Autosports. Which Zach owns. Just saying. Maybe Jimmy's going to go down the prototype route.
He's got the bug for Le Mans.
Maybe he's got the bug for the... Oh, well, there's another one. Maybe JJ's going to hitch up with Meyer Shank and run the McLaren prototype car. Although the rumor there is...
Is it a McLaren prototype car?
They're looking at it.
Because...
They're looking at it.
The only thing that's been announced is United Autosports is going to be running the GT3 McLaren.
Right.
Yes.
So the guys at Daily Sports Car have been on this for years, since the whole new WEC thing came out. McLaren is exploring it.
Oh, okay.
So maybe, now it's actually a little more complicated because the guys at FAF in Canada who run the Porsche
that's
here,
another big piece of news.
Yeah, big piece of news. They're switching over to McLaren. So maybe they're going to, that would take Shank out.
To
not run the McLaren prototype program.
Yeah.
Although, see, the thing is, FAF hasn't run a prototype program. Maybe they run the GT cars and Shank maybe run the prototypes.
What car? Are they going to take the P1?
I don't know. I mean, who knows? There's something probably sitting there. Who knows? Just a lot going on. A lot of buzz. Just throwing it out there, see if it sticks. That's what you got to do. We've been right on some.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Waiting for that Toyota one to come running through.
Waiting for that Spire Andretti one.
I'm waiting for that McLaren Toyota to come running up onto the Formula One grid.
I know. Well, your thing was saying about Rio Harakara.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said that name right. Him being a test driver in McLaren was kind of a big one, and then all these big wigs of Toyota showing up at Suzuka was another one. So
Christian's over here like his brain's going 1,000 miles an hour.
I'm just thinking of any excuse to because Lexus's, Toyotas.
It doesn't matter. They're all going to. They're just going to rebrand. Right. Honda rebranded Acura.
No. I'm just saying Lexus is the luxury brand of Toyota.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just because I like it, I would like to see the LFA brought back to life.
100%.
Absolutely.
The LFA would be fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you and I from a GT, from a GT3 perspective, I want to see Aston Martin take it to the next level and bring out the Vulcan.
For the GT3 car, yes.
Because we saw that car. Yeah. We saw that car.
Yeah, I'd like that.
That car was nice.
But
we saw it on the track.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Vulcan as the GT3 car and then keep the...
I just want to know what Jimmy Johnson was really. I just want to know why Jimmy Johnson was really at United Autosports. Just
there has to be more than just a hey hello.
Hey hello, yeah. Hey Zach, looking to switch to sports cars.
I don't know if he. I think he would probably be more the GT.
Maybe he shows up in a GT car.
I think it would be more the GT. I don't think it would be the.
Maybe Faf's gonna run 2 cars. Maybe there's the Faf car, and then it could be JJ DeLoe's McLaren. Who knows?
Well, because think about this. Jimmy Johnson, the most prototype racing he's done is Daytona prototypes, and he didn't find any success. And then he went over to
what are you
Action
talking
Express.
about?
No, but I'm giving the whole portfolio of his prototype experience.
Didn't Action Express, not Action Express, didn't Gainesco?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, didn't Gainesco win the 24 hours? Didn't Gurney?
Not with Jimmy Johnson.
You sure about that?
Look, I'm 99.
Oh, say it,
sure.
99. That's good, Nate.
Yeah,
because that was their number.
Yep. So I got you there, but
right.
I really think I hate. Hang on.
Hey-ho.
I'm pretty sure. I'm glad you caught that pun.
There's a lot going on.
Look, there'd be a big stat because if you're a Daytona 500 winner and a 24 Hours Daytona winner, you would be on the list with Jamie Murray, AJ Foyt,
Juan Pablo Montoya.
Right? No, stop. Jet dryer. Sorry, I had to. But Mario Andretti. Who else is on that Daytona 500, 24 Hours of Daytona? Yeah, Sean. Yeah, he hasn't won it.
All right,
Sean. I have the stats right here.
Yep.
7 tries, 0 wins.
Oh, okay.
But 2 podiums.
All right. And then JT gave out the Garage 56 one last run at Charlotte this weekend. Did you guys see that?
Yes, I did. That was cool.
Pretty cool. And then...
Because then he's going prototype racing with Wayne Taylor. So.
Yeah, I know, but he gave the Garage 56 car one last run. Thought that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that
and
a lot.
I'd like to just put a shout out. It's probably started right now. Tonight's it. The final for the inaugural High Limits Winged Sprint Car Series tonight comes down to 2 drivers. Young Money and Rico.
Ooh.
Ooh. Young Money? You think it's Young Money?
I don't know because Rico's probably the hottest sprint car driver, wing sprint car driver right now.
Right.
He's been winning Outlaws and this, so Rico's on a friggin' roll. Love Rico. Can we get Rico on the show?
Yeah, he's cool.
Can we get Rico on the
I'd
show?
love to.
That'd be
I
awesome.
want to get Young Money on the show.
Oh,
Sean.
Young Money would be awesome. Yeah. So. All right. On that note.
Good night.
Thank you guys for listening to the Red Mist Podcast, hosted by Christian Abbott, Sean Abbott, and Nathan Lavin. It's produced by Christian Abbott, and music is by Alex Wart and Harrison Tate.